If you haven't heard about it, you must have your head stuck in a bucket. I'm talking about the Ice Bucket Challenge, a dare to pour ice water over your head or donate money to find a cure for ALS, the affliction better known as Lou Gehrig's disease. The challenge has gone viral, and it all started with a local family. He once took pride in his strong hands, hands that helped him grip a bat, becoming a baseball star and captain for the Boston College Eagles. But in March of 2012, Peter Freitas of Beverly was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis.
Being a baseball player, I know Lou Gehrig very well, but at the same time, Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, I didn't really know what it did.
Now at 29, Freitas has no use of his voice or limbs and can only communicate through an eye tracking device. In July, he and his wife came up with an idea, the Ice Bucket Challenge, creating awareness of the disease and raising money at the same time.
This is Ryan Cazalet accepting the Ice Bucket Challenge in support of Pete Freitas and Team Freight Train.
This is the Ice Bucket Challenge.
But what started with friends and family has now gone viral. Everyone is in on the act, from Martha Stewart to Patriots receiver Julian Edelman to the Boston Police. And today in Copley Square, Boston.com sponsored a 3-hour Ice Bucket Challenge. Suzelle Girardi's father-in-law died of ALS.
This is kind of dear to me. My whole family's done the Ice Bucket Challenge, you know, on their own and posting the videos on Facebook.
And Sergio Mazan agrees it's a great way to create awareness.
And for the people that don't want to dump the ice, they need to make a donation. So it's a great way to get the money.
Meanwhile, the challenge is working. As of this morning, the Massachusetts chapter of ALS says it has taken in over $7,000 in just a few days. Most agree the surge of donations is worth celebrating, but not everyone thinks the stunt is in good taste. Haley Rose runs her own public relations firm and takes issue with the Ice Bucket Challenge. Also joining us tonight is Lynn Aronson. She's the executive director of the Massachusetts chapter of the ALS Association. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you, Emily.
So I don't want to put you on the spot, because I think other people had similar reactions. We had quite a heated discussion about it this morning in our own little newsroom. But what is it that bothers you about it?
You know, I think that on the one hand, yes, it's raising awareness for ALS, but it stops there. The Ice Bucket Challenge gets people talking about those letters, but do they actually know what the disease is? Do they know what it does to the people who have it? And I think that the do the challenge or donate is in very bad taste, because so many people have done the challenge and in turn likely have not donated.
Mm-hmm. That was a question I had, Lynn. We talked about that on the telephone this morning. If you pour the ice over your head, you either make a smaller donation or you don't have to donate. But do people, for the most part, donate anyway?
People are doing both, actually. It started out, I think when Pete started out, it's do the challenge or donate. But as it's evolved and as it has become more viral, in fact, when I did it yesterday, I said, you know, do both. I've been going around really trying to include the educational part of it, so people understand what ALS is and how quickly it affects, you know, people die normally within 2 to 5 years after diagnosis. And it often takes up to a year to get a diagnosis. So I try and fill in some of those blanks, but because we are an orphan disease, we don't get the visibility as some of the larger disease groups do. So we think it's a great awareness campaign.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, I think one of the phrases that came up this morning, Haley, was conspicuously compassionate. In other words, kind of look at me. I'm doing this. I'm so compassionate. You know, sort of calling attention. It's very much kind of the Facebook world. It's all about me. Did it strike you that way?
Oh, sure. I mean, if you didn't post it, did it happen? Mm-hmm. That's the kind of the feeling, you know, you have to video the challenge, yes. You have to post it for your friends to see. And I think that too, with the increasing number of celebrities, sports, you know, the athletes, even the national anchors, Matt Lauer getting involved, Martha Stewart, there is an opportunity that might be missed unless we really pay attention to say, this is what I'm doing, but this is why I'm doing it, and this is what's happening next.
Yeah, because then one of the blogs or threads, whatever I was following today, said that even in the hashtags, they didn't make it clear what the disease was, how it affects people. That in fact, they didn't even talk about it. It was all about the challenge, but they weren't talking about the disease.
Well, sometimes, you know, the message may get watered down as it goes through. You know, it's like the old game telephone, where the message starts out, and when it gets to the last person, it sort of changes completely. You know, I think the bottom line is that it has generated a tremendous amount of awareness. We're certainly very grateful to be involved in the whole process, because that's, you know, part of what we do is try and educate people about ALS and how it affects people, and that it is a neurodegenerative disease affecting the spinal cord and brain. And although people are cognitively intact, they lose their physical abilities, including speech and swallowing in some people. They're using their limbs, eventually leading to complete paralysis. So I think the bottom line is, for us as an organization, we're thrilled that it has gotten such visibility. And hopefully, if people visit our website, they'll stay there a little bit and check it out. You
know, Haley, one of the things that I often say is, I can't believe how many people don't know anything. And the fact that people don't know what this is, I find just shocking. I'm sure I've known since I was able to, you know, read and speak. So anything that sort of calls attention to something that people don't pay any attention to, I mean, you got to kind of say, well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I really do hope that as this continues to pick up steam, before it kind of loses that power, that people will take the opportunity to go beyond the challenge and really help to learn for themselves what this is. Unfortunately, even with the opportunity for some local media to cover this, you know, without naming any specifics, there are 3 different examples I could name of outlets just one sentence about what the disease is, and the entire rest of the segment about the ice. I mean, like, how many times do you have to see someone put a bucket of ice water over their head? What is the greater message here? What is ALS? What are we doing to raise money? 500,000 people might be involved in this. If they donated $5, we'd have $2.5 million.
Yeah. Well, let's hope they do. All right, Lynn Aronson, thanks for coming. Haley Rose,
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.